Good morning, everyone. So it's funny, Rob mentions the online complaint system. So I was out at DPW last week, and I'm making an appointment in my second week to go around and try to visit all of the departments. And for obvious reasons, DPW was an important one last week. I brought coffee and donuts out to the plow drivers. I brought pizza out to the sanitation workers, and they're working really hard for us. But when I was out there, I was touring around the office, and I happened to get introduced to the woman that handles most of the online complaints. And I said, "Hi, I'm Ben Walsh." And she goes, "Oh, I know who you are." And I said, "Well, good." I said, "I hate to break it to you, but I'm not going to stop." And she goes, "I figured as much." And I said, "Okay, well, just so we're on the same page." So that was fun. But and speaking of fun, on my way here this morning, I'm racing along, and I'm thinking about my comments that I'm going to make to all of you, and a commercial comes on the radio, and I hear the county executive, and it's for the United Way, and she talks about the importance of the United Way, and then I hear my voice, and I'm introducing myself as the mayor, which is still taking some getting used to. But I thought about it, and it was relevant to the point of my comments this morning, which is to talk about the alignment of leadership that we have in this community right now. It's something that many of you who were involved with the mayoral forum during the campaign, when we came and spoke to many of you as candidates at the Crown Plaza, I talked about this moment of time when there was this alignment of leadership in this community. And it was back shortly after I left the MDA and my good friend Rob Simpson to go over to the city. And at that time, the mayor and the county executive had this amazing dynamic relationship where I used to brag that most communities' mayors and county executives don't even talk. Well, ours texted, and and I see Bill Fisher over there, and Bill and I had and continue to have a great working relationship. But that relationship was working. The relationship between the county executive and the governor, and we all know about that relationship, that was working, and the mayor and the governor were working well together. And the business community, you had the MDA and the chamber coming together to create CenterState CEO, and we see how that's benefited all of us. And our institutions, Syracuse University, St. Joseph's Hospital, Lemoyne College, there was an alignment, and it felt great. And for many of us who felt like we had been stuck in the mud for so long, we felt like we were starting to get some traction. Unfortunately, that moment in time didn't last particularly long. Some of those relationships began to deteriorate, and once again, I think many of us felt stuck. I don't know about all of you, but I'm starting to feel like we're gaining traction again. I mentioned the county executive. I've met twice in the past 2 months since I've been elected. I've had 2 sit-down meetings with both the county executive and Congressman Katko. We've had great conversations, a lot of energy. We're excited to get things done. As Rob mentioned, we go back a little ways. We've now been having coffee most Friday mornings for probably about a decade now, right, Rob? And our relationship couldn't be stronger. I look at our institutions. We have Les here who will be providing some comments. I'm looking forward to getting to know him a little bit better, especially because my wife works at St. Joseph's Hospital. But I look at Syracuse University. I've had great conversations with the chancellor. Linda Lemura has chaired my transition team, and across the board, I'm looking at some of my colleagues in the Common Council in front of me here. We have this great, and County Ledge, we have this great alignment right now, and I think we have an amazing opportunity to move this community forward. Over the past 2 months since I've been elected, a couple things. One, my first objective was to bring together the best possible team I could, and I feel like I've done that. We're not completely done with that, but we have all of our department heads in place, and I think we have an amazing, dynamic, diverse team that is going to serve the city very well. As I've said from the beginning, after getting the team in place, I want to focus on the culture of City Hall. We want to establish a culture of service, of giving back, specifically of customer service as it relates to dealing with constituents in the business community, and I think we've begun the process of doing that. So going forward, what do we need? We need all of you. As I said, from the government, from the public sector to the not-for-profit sector, and I think in the private sector, we have this alignment. Using an economic term as we get ready for our forecast, consumer confidence, in my opinion, could not be higher in the city of Syracuse right now. The optimism and sense of hope in this city is palpable. It's right there. You can feel it. You can see it. You can hear it. And what we need right now is for all of you to help take us to the next level. Take that project that's been sitting on the drawing board that you haven't been quite sure if you want to move it forward. Now's the time to move it forward. Take those job opportunities that you haven't been quite sure about whether or not you're ready to fill them. Now's the time to fill them. If we all work together, as we have been over the past couple months, and I believe we will in the coming months and years, as I've said from the beginning, I truly believe our city's best days are ahead of us. So with that, I will simply leave you with this. The city is open for business, and I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.